Shall we start, everyone? Okay. So myself, C. Rohit Grover. I'm a qualified chartered accountant. So I'll be taking care of your paper number 10 in that 50 marks of the portion that is called your auditing, right? Concept relating to company audit. I think you already are aware of the fact that in your paper there are two parts. What are the two parts we have? One is called corporate accounting and the another one is called auditing, right? Company audit, right? So in this particular part, what you need to understand that key in the audit, I hope none of you might be having the idea of the concept of audit. Anybody in the class is having an idea? What do you mean by the term called audit? No idea? So try to understand one thing. What do you mean by the term called audit? Now, before starting the term called audit, you need to understand one very clear thing in your mind. Understand one thing very carefully. When we are talking about the term called audit, there are basically three types of audit in India. Majorly three types of audit in India. One is known as statutory audit, right? One is known as cost audit, and one is known as secretarial audit. So repeat, what are the three audits we have? Statutory audit, cost audit, and secretarial audit. Now, you also know that there are total three types of professionals in India. One is CA, one is CMA, and one is what? CS. Now, why do we need these three professionals in India from the three bodies ICAI, ICMAI, and ICSI? So today we are only going to concentrate why do we need the audit, what is the meaning of audit, and what are the types of audit, and who does which kind of audit. That's what we are going to understand just in a brief class, right? Now, CA, CS, and CMA. First of all, before starting audit, you need to understand what is the difference between a CA and a chartered accountant, a CMA and a cost accountant, and a CS and a company secretary. Anybody in the class having an idea? Whom do we call CA and whom do we call a chartered accountant? Tell me. You tell Emma. What's your name? Try to tell me. If you are calling someone a CA and if you're calling someone a chartered accountant and if you're calling someone a CMA and you're calling him a cost accountant and if you're calling someone a CS and a company secretary, what is the difference? The difference is this CA is different from this what? Chartered accountant. How? To call yourself as a chartered accountant, you need to hold two things from your institute. From thing number one, membership number. What is the first thing you need is membership number. Second thing what you need is COP. What is COP? Certificate of practice. Are you getting the point? If you are qualified as a CA, CMA or CS from your institute and you have written your final exams, you are only going to call yourself as a CA, CS and CMA. You are not going to call yourself as a chartered accountant, cost accountant and company secretary. If you really want to call yourself as a chartered accountant, company secretary and a cost accountant, you need to obtain two things from the institute. One is membership number and one is what? Certificate of practice. Now let me tell you one thing. What do you mean by that? Once you get qualified with your CA final exams or CMA final exams or CS final exams, you go to your institute. Institute gives you two options. Either you can come into the employment or you can come into the practice. So if you are choosing to come into what? Employment, you neither need any membership number nor you need any what? COP. You don't have to hold any membership number. You don't have to hold any COP. Like I gave you my introduction, I'm CA Rohit Grover and I'm a qualified chartered accountant. What is the word I used? Qualified chartered. So when I say the word chartered accountant, it means I'm into practice. I'm into what? Practice. It means I do hold both the things. One is membership number and one is what? Certificate of practice. It means if you are not holding membership number and certificate of practice, you cannot call yourself as a what? Chartered accountant. You cannot call yourself as a cost accountant. You cannot call yourself as a company secretary. Did you understand the point? So who does the audit in India? Why I'm telling you all this basic knowledge? Who does the audit in India? In India, audit can only and only be done by the practicing CA, practicing CMA, and practicing CS. Who are the three people? Practicing CA, practicing CMA, and practicing CS. Now the question arises, is sir, when we come into the practice, then what is the difference it makes? If I'm into practice, how I can write my name? I can write my name as CA Rohit Grover. In the bracket, I can use the word called what? Chartered accountant. Sir, can I use this same chartered accountant word on my visiting card? Answer is yes. On my nameplate, yes. On my bill books, yes. On my letterhead, yes. But I cannot use the word chartered accountant if I'm not holding a COP. Are you getting the point? So if someone introduces himself or herself, ki, hi, I'm a chartered accountant. Hi, I'm a cost accountant. Hi, I'm a company secretary. You should first simply ask them, ki, are you holding a COP or you are not holding a COP? If that person is holding a COP, then only you can call yourself with a designation. So it means if I want to write my name with the designation called chartered accountant, cost accountant, or company secretary, I must be holding a what? COP, certificate of practice. Are you getting the point? So in India, there are two ways you can get qualified. After getting qualified, either you can go for a job or you can come into what? Practice. If you're going for a job, you need not secure any membership number or COP. आपको जरूरत नहीं है. But if you're going for a what? Practice, you need to hold both the things. What are the two things? Membership number as well as a COP, certificate of practice. I hope you got the clarity. So before starting the subject called auditing, this is a bare minimum knowledge you should have. So if someone will say, ki, hi, I am a cost accountant, so you have to assume that ki, that person is holding a what? Certificate of practice. If someone will say, I'm a CMA, then in that case, he's just a qualified CMA, but he's not into what? Practice. And if someone will say, I'm a CMA and a cost accountant, what does that mean? He qualified as well as holding a what? COP. So for these two things, one is membership number and one is what? COP. You pay annual charges to your institute. You pay annual fees to your institute. So every 30th September ko institute collects a fees from you. Two fees. One is membership fees and one is what? COP fees. So if you will not pay your membership fees and COP fees, you will not be able to continue as a practitioner in India. Are you getting the point? 100% clarity. So this is what the basic difference between calling yourself as a CA and a chartered accountant, calling yourself as a CMA and a what? Cost accountant, and calling yourself as a CS and a what? Company secretary. Sir, who is watching us? Institute is always watching you. Institute is always having an eye on you. Dare you write the word cost accountant in your nameplate at your home, but you're not holding a word COP, you will be disqualified to be called as a CMA. Institute has a disciplinary committee. Institute always watches you. They always watch their members. Like my membership number of CA is 232859. Now what does that mean? I'm 2,32,859th qualified chartered accountant of India. I got qualified in the year 2011, right? Now, when I got qualified in 2011, at that point of time, 2,32,859 chartered accountants were there existing in India. Right now, 454 something is going on. What does that mean? It means it has almost been doubled. Are you getting the point? Now, in CMA also, 474 series is going on. So it means more than 450,000 cost and management accountants are also qualified in India. Are you getting the point? And when it comes to CS, it is 70 to 80,000 series is going on, because very few people come into CS. Reason being very simple, because in that majority of the subjects are theory, law based subject. Doing an LLB and doing a CS is one of the same thing. Are you getting the point? So as you all are doing CMA, so let's restrict our knowledge up to the which subject? Cost and management accountant only. Are you getting the point? Now, coming back to the main topic. Sir, what do you mean by the three types of audit? One is known as statutory audit, one is known as cost audit, and one is known as secretary. First of all, understand who can only do the audit. If you are a COP holder, then only you can do the audit. It means this audit is done by practicing CA, this audit is done by practicing CMA, and this audit is done by practicing CS. Did you get the point? Now the question is, sir, all these three audits will be done by three of them only? Answer is yes. It is specially mentioned in the Companies Act. So Companies Act, which section talks about what? Section number 139 to section number 147 says that statutory audit in India can only be done by a practicing chartered accountant. Who can do? Practicing chartered accountant. It means practicing CMA and practicing CS cannot do which audit? Statutory audit. Who can only do? Practicing chartered accountant. Same way, section number 148 says that only cost accountant can do what? Cost audit. Only. What is the word written? Only. And same way, section number 204 says that only and only practicing CS can do the which audit? Secretarial audit. So majorly, what are the three types of audits we have? We have statutory audit, we have cost audit, and we have secretarial audit. Who can do? Practicing CA, practicing CS, practicing CMA. I hope you got the clarity. So this is what the bare minimum knowledge you should have before starting a subject. We have not yet started a subject. I'm just giving you the general knowledge, what auditing culture, what auditing environment we have it in India. Are you getting the point? So majorly, this is the reason three practicing professionals are required. Now, coming back to the next thing, sir, what these people do in their audit. Once we talk about this audit, what is the name of the audit? Statutory audit. What is this audit all about? Statutory audit is all about audit of financial statements of the company. Audit of what? Financial statements of the company. When the company prepares its balance sheet, P&L, cash flow statement, notes to account, statement of changes in equity, they hire a practicing CA. That practicing CA goes there and does the audit of their financial statements, whether the financial statements are looking true and fair, genuine or not, and then he signs his audit report. That audit is known as which audit? Statutory audit. Which audit? Statutory audit. Same way, sir, what do you mean by the term called what? Cost audit. Cost audit में क्या होता है? Same company, if involved into manufacturing activity, mining activity, production activity, processing activity, assembling and extraction, where raw material and labor is used. Any company where the raw material and labor is being used. Prime cost. Do you remember prime cost concept? There's a direct material, direct labor, and direct expense. So if your company is using raw material and labor, it means you are either in what? Manufacturing company, mining company, processing company, production company, assembling company, or extraction company. Now in this company, statutory audit definitely will take place because this company will prepare its financial statement, but this company also has to maintain cost records. What it has to maintain? Cost records. Matlab, there are total 30 registers, extra 30 registers which company has to maintain. Those 30 extra registers, we call them as cost records. Which records? So it will maintain financial statements, books of accounts, as well as which records? Cost records. So for the financial statement and books of accounts, who is coming and doing the audit? Practicing CA. Coming and doing a which audit? Statutory audit. But for this cost records, we need to hire a whom? Practicing CMA, and he will come and do the which audit? Cost audit. I hope you're getting the clarity. Are you getting the point? So for the same company, one audit is statutory audit and another audit is cost audit. So it means they are hiring both the professionals. One is practicing CA who will do the statutory audit, and one is practicing CMA who will come and do the which audit? Cost audit. 100% clarity. Now, if you are a listed company, if you are a which company? Listed company, then the third audit also comes into picture. That third audit is known as what? Secretarial audit. Now the question is, sir, Statutory audit is an audit of financial statements. Cost audit is an audit of cost records. What practicing CS does the audit? Secretarial audit is an audit of law and regulation compliances. Repeat after me. What is the word? Law and regulation compliances. What do you mean by that? Whether the company is following its law properly or not, regulations properly or not, compliances properly or not, rules and regulations properly or not. For that also we need one checker. That checker is known as secretarial auditor. Which auditor? And who will do the secretarial audit? Practicing CS. So that's how three professional ka jobs have been divided between practicing CA, practicing CMA, practicing CS. So practicing CA does a which audit? Statutory audit. Practicing CS does a which audit? Secretarial audit. And practicing CMA, which we people are, we do which audit? Cost audit. And nobody interferes in each other audit. That's how these three institutes got developed: ICAI, ICMai, and ICSI. I hope you are getting the clarity, 100% clarity. So today, did you understand the difference between calling someone a CA and calling someone a chartered accountant? What is the major difference? COP, Certificate of Practice. You cannot call yourself as a cost accountant if you don't hold a COP. You can call yourself as a CMA, no problem. But if you want to call yourself as a cost accountant, you must be in practice. And if you want to come in practice, you must hold a certificate of practice, which is issued by the institute. I hope you got the clarity. So this is what the major brief knowledge about the subject called what? Auditing you should have before entering into the subject called company audit, right? Now, coming to our subject. Sir, what is there in our subject? In our subject, these many chapters are there. Let me tell you one very important thing before starting. In the whole 50 marks of your company audit, you know that it is divided into two parts. One is MCQs and one is descriptive. Correct or not? So you will get the descriptive questions also, and you will get the what? MCQs also. Are you getting the point? Same 50 marks a portion is for the accounting also. So accounting, I think Banu sir is taking care of, and for the auditing, I will take care of. Right or not? Now, sir, how to score 40 plus out of 50? Very simple subject, very easy subject, theoretical plus practical. I will tell you my practical examples to make you understand how to remember that theory. I'll make you understand and make you write also small points and the easy points. Why? Because the language of the institute is quite difficult. So we will simplify it. We will understand it, right? So 50 marks a portion is there, divided into two parts, MCQ part as well as what? Descriptive part. After that, you need to understand, sir, what we are going to learn. You are only and only going to learn one small topic in this whole subject called what? Company audit. So what is the name of your subject? How to do audit of companies. How to do the audit of companies. Only company audit. Sir, when we will learn cost audit, you will learn that cost audit in CMA final paper number 17. So once you will reach into CMA final, you will have group 4. In the group 4, paper number 1 is known as CMAD. What is the name of the paper? CMAD, Cost and Management Audit. What is the full form? Cost and Management. So you will not learn cost audit at intermediate level. So sir, intermediate level pe what we are going to learn? We are going to learn statutory audit at intermediate level. But sir, statutory audit is done by whom? Practicing CA. We are the students of what? CMA. Why we are learning? Approach formula is what? Same. Either you do statutory audit, or you do cost audit, or you do secretarial audit. Your approach, your principles, your basics will remain same. Dedicatedly, cost audit, you're only and only going to learn when you will all enter into what? CMA final. So CMA final के group 4 में paper number 17 में you will learn cost and management audit, but at intermediate level we are only and only going to learn statutory audit. It means your portion of intermediate and CA का intermediate का portion is same. all the chapters which you are having in your portion, same chapters cmainter students are also having. It means your audit get differentiated where? When you enter into what? CMA final. CMA final mein their audit is different, your audit is different. So purely how to do cost audit, how to do management audit, you will learn. CMA does what? That you will learn in CMA final. So it means at intermediate level, you are not going to talk about which cost audit. So sir, there is only one section we will learn, which will talk about which audit? Cost audit, section number what? 148. And another section we will learn, which will talk about what? Secretarial audit, section number what? 204. Other than these two sections, we are only and only going to talk about which audit? Statutory. I hope you are getting the clarity. So don't be under the impression कि CMA inter में you are sitting. So why we are doing CA inter वाला audit? Because CMA inter का audit and CA inter का audit is what? Same. You are only going to learn how practicing CA works. क्योंकि if you will learn how practicing CA works, you will automatically learn how practicing CMA works. I hope you got the clarity. So what is the name of your subject, everyone? The name of the subject is company audit. How many marks? 50 marks divided into two parts, MCQ portion and what? Descriptive portion. Shall we start with the portion now? What is the portion you have? Now, when it comes to portion, you can see that the very first chapter which we are going to learn is known as what? Auditing concepts. What is the name of the topic? Auditing concepts. Sir, in this, what we are going to learn, we will learn what do you mean by the term called what? Audit. What are the objectives of audit? What is the scope of audit? Then what do you mean by advantages of audit and what do you mean by limitations of audit? It means everything about the word called what? Audit. We are going to learn in our first chapter called what? Auditing concept. Are you getting the point? So by the time our first chapter will be over, we will learn what audit is all about. Audit kya hota hai? Are you getting the point? Second thing you need to understand, what do you mean by which audit? Company audit. But before going to this chapter, let me give you some brief. You will get this book. Along with that, I will give you handwritten notes also. But that handwritten notes I will give you in the PDF form. Are you getting the point? You can keep it with you. You can learn from there. Most of the notes are written. Those notes which are not written, we are going to write in the class in the live session only. Are you getting the point? Two things. Third thing, you have to start learning this subject from the day one. If you think that let the portion be over and then I will start my preparation, then you are already going to go failed in your examination. If you will wait for the portion to get over, then you will start your self-study. On the last day, you will not be able to remember what you have learned in the first day. Now see, try to understand. July May we are starting a batch. 30, 40, 35, 40 sessions we have to take. 30, 35 sessions, almost one and a half month. After one and a half month, you will not be able to remember which chapter, which topic you have done 40 days back. So humble request is that on daily basis, 5 to 10 minutes only, you just need to remember and you need to revise the concepts what you are doing in the class. Anyways, whenever we are going to meet for the next class, I'll make you revise again what we have done in the previous session, but you also have to revise the concept in the class on your own. So next day when you come up in the class, you should come with the answers in your pocket. Don't come to the class empty-handed. That is the second thing. Third thing you need to understand, all the classes are going to be delivered in English only. I will not use any local language. Anyways, I don't know Telugu, right? So I will speak everything in English. I will deliver the classes in English because when you hear it, then only you can remember it and then only you can write in the examination. That is the point number 3. Point number 4, 100% coverage is going to take place. Almost 40 to 45 hours we need to spend on this particular subject. Are you getting the point? It's a theory subject, and as and when one chapter or two chapters will be over, we will be discussing some MCQs also so that you will get an idea of what kind of questions they may ask you in the examination. I hope you're getting the point. Tomorrow onwards, what you have to do is you have to bring one book with you, empty notebook with you. Whatever the things I will make you write or I will tell you to note down, you have to note down that in the class only. Are you getting the point? One book is already being given to you. Another book you have to bring. So that is only going to be the summarized material for the purpose of your examination. Now, coming to the chapter number 2, what is the name of the chapter? Company audit. Now, company audit में we are going to learn section number 139 to section number 147. It means in the whole chapter, we are going to learn everything about whom? Practicing CA, and how the practicing CA does a which audit? Statutory audit. Are you getting the point? Next chapter, which we are going to have, can you read the names? What is the name of the next chapter? Cost audit and which audit? It means here we are going to do section number what? 148 and section number what? 204. Here we are going to learn who is a practicing CMA, and here we are going to learn who is a practicing what? CA. If you are a practicing CS, you do a which audit? Secretarial audit. And if you are a practicing CMA, you do a which audit? Cost audit. So only in this particular chapter only, we are going to learn everything about practicing CMA and everything about practicing CA. Rest whole subject is going to talk about what? Practicing CA only. Are you getting the point? So your institute name also will not appear in the chapters. So don't get carried away. Institute of Chartered Accountants of India institute name will come, and that is given in your study material also. Are you getting the point? So your material is directly and made from what? Institute's material. So either you are doing it from here or doing it from there, one of the same thing. Then we have the next chapter. What is the name of the chapter? Audit process. Now, what do you think that how audit takes place? Tell me. Let's first talk about meaning of the word called what? Audit, so that you can start your journey of audit. What do you think audit is all about? What do you mean by audit? If any random answer you have to give. Your name, sir? Gautam. Please tell me, what do you mean by audit? What do you think audit is all about? Anything which is coming to your mind. Checking what? Financial statements. Okay, sir. You, sir, what's your name? Tell me, Chandu, what do you mean by audit? Any idea? Inventory, assets, income and expenditure. You, sir, what do you mean by audit? Same answer. You, sir? Verification. So the next word which I got to know is verification. Okay. You tell Emma, what do you mean by audit? What do you think audit is all about? Any answer? Books of accounts. Okay. Verification of books of accounts. Great. Okay. You tell Emma. Analyzing. Very good. Analyzing is also one of the part of audit. You tell Emma. Verification of financial statements. You? Okay. And verification and sorry, be louder. Okay. Fairness, checking the fairness and truthness of financial statement. That is called what? Audit. Now, if I have to ask you one very simple question, try to understand the question. Do you think that audit is examination, or do you think that audit is investigation? Tell me. What do you mean by audit? If I have to give you the two options between these two words, what audit is? Is audit examination or is audit investigation? Think logically. No worries. Anyways, you don't know anything. So whatever the answer you will give, even if it will be wrong, it is my duty to correct it. Because here faculty is me. I know better than you, so I will correct you. But good thing about this session is what? You need to be vocal in the class. Talk in the class. Because more you will talk, more the subject will go inside your head. Now tell me, if I have to give you the two options between examination and investigation, what do you think audit is all about? Is audit investigation or is audit examination? Examination. Okay, you? Audit investigation or examination? Investigation. Anybody investigation? What do you think, Amma, last? Investigation. You? Examination. You? Okay, what is the difference between investigation and examination? We are asking questions, we are getting the information. What do you mean by examination, sir? Same. Let me tell you one thing. There's a huge difference between the word called examination and investigation. Listen to this point very carefully. Investigation starts with suspicious mind. Investigation starts with the which mind? Suspicious mind. When you have a suspicion on something, Then you investigate the thing. Say for example, ABC Limited is there. In the ABC Limited, you came to know that fraud has happened. What has happened? Fraud has happened. So you will not go there to do examination now. You will go there to do invest. So when you already know that frauds, scams, scandals, and errors have happened, you do investigation. Why this has happened. So investigation starts with the which mind? Suspicious mind. शक वाले दिमाग से investigation start होती है. So it starts with the suspicious mind. Examination starts with questioning mind. Examination starts with which mind? Questioning mind. So audit is never a what? Investigation. Auditing is all about what? Examination. Now tell me one thing. Let's start from the basics. Very much basic so that your confidence level will go up. Tell me, what do you mean by the term called financial year? What do you mean by financial year? Financial year starts from 1st April, ends on 31st March. I think you must have read that in DT also. It starts from 1st April, ends on 31st March. Tell me, which financial year is right now going on? 26, 27. Right now going on is 26, 27. Started on 1st April 26, ending on. Am I correct in writing? Am I correct? Always remember, auditing starts when accounting ends. Repeat after me. Auditing starts when accounting ends. Now tell me, what is the last day of accounting? 31st March. Then from 1st April onwards, what will happen? Auditing will start. So auditing ka season starts when accounting gets finalized, accounting gets closed, and accounting gets ended. So 31st March is the last date for the financial year. Once the accounting will be over, then only auditing will start. It means you cannot learn the subject called auditing until and unless you don't know how to do accounting. That's why you need to be expert in accountancy as well as what? Auditing. Are you getting the point? Now, what do we do in audit? Now, try to understand. Auditing starts from 1st April. The last day, mostly the last day, is 30th September for completing all the audits. It means we have 6 months to do the audits. How many months? It means we do the audit of past events. Now, tell me one thing. When I'm doing the audit, I'm doing the audit in 27-28. I'm doing the audit in 27-28 for the which financial year? So we do the audit of HFI. What do we do the audit of? Historical financial information. We never do the audit in between. We wait for the client to end its what? Financial year. Once the financial year will be over, he will prepare his financial statements. Once the financial statements are prepared, he will hand it over to a chartered accountant. Chartered accountant will come and do the audit. So we never do the audit of present. We never do the audit of future. We do the audit of past. So we call it as HFI. What do you mean by HFI? Historical financial information. Did you get the point? We never do the audit of present financial information because we don't want to disturb our client. So, sir, when we are going in 27-28, we are not asking him the purchase and sales of 27-28. We are asking him the purchase and sales which you have already done in 26-27. So, audit always takes place on past events, historical financial information, not on present, not on what? Future. Did you understand? 100% clarity. So, up to this flow is understood. Now the question arises, is sir, why 30th September? Because by this date, every company has to conduct AGM. I hope you know. What is AGM? Annual General Meeting. Annual General Meeting is a meeting of whom? Shareholders. All these shareholders are eagerly waiting for what? Audited financial statements. They're waiting for what? Audited financial statement. And whose opinion? Auditor's opinion. Is the company having a positive opinion or is the company having a negative opinion? Because who are the owners of the company? Shareholder. But who are the people who are running the company? Board of director. Throughout the year, shareholders only meet once in a year. What is that meeting? AGM. So as a owner, they want to know whether the company is managing the funds properly or not. Who tells them whether the company is managing the funds properly or not? Auditor. Who managed? Board of directors. Whose money? Shareholder. But who is telling the shareholders whether your money is properly managed or not? That is what we mean by statutory audit. So a practicing CA is hired by the shareholders to do the audit of financial year and let them know whether the company has made the profit or loss in the financial year, whether the company's financial position is good or not, so that they can take a decision, do they want to continue with this company in the future or not. This is what the idea behind doing the what? Audit. So auditing starts when, Amma? When accounting ends. So we first let the financial year to get ended and then we start doing what? Audit. Now tell me, right now in my office, which audits are going on? 25, 26. Right now, today in my office, which financial year audits are going on? And next year, same time? Next to next year? Did you understand? Right or not? So we allow the financial year to get over, let the accounting gets finalized, balanced and finished. After that only we start doing what? Audit. So auditing starts when what ends? Accounting ends. Rule samajh mein aaya? Are you getting the point? Now sir, who does the accounting? Accounting is done by the whom? Management. Who does the accounting? Management. Who prepares the books of accounts? Management. Who prepares the books of accounts? Management. Who prepares the financial statement? Management. But who examines the books of accounts and financial statement? Auditor. Practicing CA. Whom we call a which auditor? Statutory auditor. We do not prepare financial statement. Preparation and presentation of financial statement is the prime responsibility of whom? Management. We are just simply going to go to the whose place? Client's place for few number of days and we will examine their financial statement whether you have prepared financial statement properly or not. If properly, genuinely, true and fair opinion, positive. If ingenuine, I'll find some frauds and errors, I'll give a which opinion? Negative opinion. And who is waiting for my opinion? Shareholders in the AGM. So that's why we have to complete our audit before what? AGM. So what happens? Accounting happens. So look at the chart. What starts with? Accounting. What ends? Accounting. When the accounting ends, what starts? Auditing. And when the auditing ends, what comes? AGM. So accounting, auditing, AGM. Did you get the point? Same is the case with the cost audit. You also don't do cost audit in between the financial year. You wait for the financial year to get over, then practicing CMA will come and he will do a which audit? Cost audit. And practicing CS will come, he will do a which audit? Secretarial audit. So approach will remain same. I hope you are getting the audit. So we do the audit of present financial, future financial or historical financial. Everything which has already happened because we need to collect evidence. How you can collect the evidence for future which has not yet happened? Are you getting it now? We collect evidence for something which has already happened. So auditing is not an investigation. Auditing is what? Examination. So what starts with suspicious mind? Now tell me one thing. Throughout the financial year, were you present with your client? When did you enter as an auditor? After the end of the financial. So do you know what he did 365 days? So how you can start auditing with which mind? Suspicious mind. So hence auditing is not an investigation. Auditing is only an examination matlab questioning mind. So what do you mean by question? I will simply go on the 1st April 27. What is your sale? Show me your purchase. Show me your incomes, expenditures, assets and liabilities. Now tell me, am I suspecting my client or asking questions from my client? That's why auditing is known as examination, not a investigation. If he will not give the answers to my questions, then my questioning mind will change into suspicion. So we never start auditing with what? Suspicion. We may get suspicion at the which stage? Later stage. So we always start with which mind? Questioning mind. Do not start with what? Suspicious mind. And hence auditing is not a investigation. It is an examination. 100% clarity. Now let's understand, sir, how do we do the audit? I'm just giving the brief of everything. Please tell me one thing. How do you think that, how many months we have to do the audit? 6 months. So let's do some mathematical calculation. Okay. If I'll say there are 6 months, 6 months is equal to almost how many days? 180 days. And let me tell you the rule. One practicing CA in one financial year do 20 company audits. One practicing CA in one financial year does how many audits? 20 company audits. So think logically, I have how many days? 180 days to complete my 20 clients. How many clients? Approximately 9 days per client. Do you all agree? So understand, 365 days of accounting, I have to check in how many days? 9 days. So do we have a lot of time? Or do we have a limited time? Do I have one client to serve or 20 clients to serve? 20 clients. So that's the reason in auditing, we do not do full checking. No, we never do full checking. We do sampling. What do we do? So if there are 1,000 purchase invoices, we will hardly check 100. Because do we have a lot of time or limited time? No, it means we do sampling. Let me give you the example of sampling. Say for example, what's your name, Amma? Raki. So Raki, if I'll say you 5 kgs of atta, 5 kgs of rice, 5 liters of oil, go to DMart and buy it. Can you remember it? What did I say? How much? 5 kg rice, 5 kg atta, 5 liters of oil. Okay. Raki, if I'll say that you have to buy now monthly groceries. Monthly groceries, you know now. This dal, atta, chawal, masala, this and that, soap, brushes, toothpaste, this, all those things. How many items do you think that average will be there in the monthly groceries? 40, 50 items? Now please tell me, can you remember it, Raki? What do you do in that case? What do we do in that case? We'll make a list. Same way, auditor also has so many things to check. So he will also prepare a what? List for the same. Now let's say for example, Raki, if you are going to a DMart and there are 7 varieties of rice are given, how you will check rice which you want to buy? You will put a hand inside. You will take some like sample. What did you say? You will take some sample. You will check the color. You will check the texture. You will take one in your mouth. You will check the taste. And after that, you will tell, Bhaiya 30 kgs pack kar do. Now tell me, did you check all? Or you do sample? Same we do it in audit. Do we check everything? No, we do sample checking. With checking? So it means we never do the with checking. Full checking. We do what? Sample. That's how we complete our audit in 9 to 10 days. Otherwise, it is very difficult to do 365 days of checking, 365 days of accounting. You cannot check it in what? 9 days if you'll do full checking. That's why we never do full checking. We do what? Sample checking. What do we do? Sample. So out of 1,000 or 10,000 invoices, I will hardly check what? 100, 200, 300. And if 100, 200, 300 are giving me true and fair result, it means the whole population is what? True and fair. Now tell me, when you check those rice, that much of rice which was there in your hand, if that is true and fair, what does that mean? The whole box is what? That box is known as population, and what you have in your pocket is known as what? Sample. On the basis of sample, we checked what? Population. Same way audit is happening. Hmm? Hmm. Okay, so you are talking about quality here. Hmm. That is, sampling is all about quantity, but you are talking about the quality also. Now, let me give you a very simple example. Suppose you are testing your client's sales. You are testing your client's sales. Now, I'll give you two options. One is he can provide you ledgers from where you can check the sales. Second is he can provide you GST returns which he has filed with the government. Tell me, all of you, how you are going to check the sales? Will you do sampling of ledgers or will you check from GST? Why GST? Easy and faster. No, that is not the right answer. GST is filed with whom? Government. There is a possibility of manipulation in what? Ledgers. But there is no possibility of manipulation in what? GST. Because GST is filed with whom? Government. So quality wise, which one is better evidence? Which one is better proof? GST. आप समझ में आया? So कभी भी याद रख लो, ऑडिटिंग में क्वांटिटी डज नॉट मैटर. What matters? Quality. Quantity B matters. Now let's say for example, there are 10,000 sales invoices. How many invoices are there? Are there so many? 10,000. How many you will check, Rakhi? Sampling. If you are a chartered accountant or a cost accountant, how much sample you will check? According to you, how much quantity will satisfy you? 80. Okay. So out of 10,000, if you'll check 80. You, sir? You will check minimum 100. Okay. You? So 100 to 500. Okay. You, sir? 100. You? 150. You last, Mama? 100. 150. You? I will check 1,000. All are right. We all are what? Right. None of us is checking 100%. Anything less than 100% is sampling. Everybody said 100, 50, 80, 150, 200, 500. I'll check what? 1,000. Because my judgment says that at least if I'll check 1,000, I will get satisfied. Your judgment said 80. Yours said 100. Yours said 100. Are you getting the point? So it's okay. Everyone's judgment differs from one person to another. But are we all doing what? Sampling. Did you get the point? So, as and when you grow old, once you will get qualified as a CMA or CA, once you will start doing the audit of your clients, you will automatically start learning how much should be your sample size. क्या मेरे को 80 चेक करना चाहिए? क्या मेरे को 1000 चेक करना चाहिए? क्या मेरे को 100% चेक करना चाहिए? अब बताओ, if I'll say कि there are only 100 invoices, now 100% चेक कर लेंगे. Now no need to do what? Sampling, because the population itself is very less. So depends upon situation to situation. So quantity and quality keeps on changing as and when you proceed in the audit. Are you getting the point? तो कभी भी याद रख लो, we never do audit on full checking basis. We always do audit on sample basis. Are you getting the point? So why we sample basis? Because you already know we have a lot of time or limited time. Do I have to serve one client or 20 clients? Then what? How can you expect me to do full checking? You can only expect me to do full checking if I have one checking, one audit. I have multiple audits. Now, why I am saying like this? You know, India mein there are 16 lakh companies. 16 lakh companies. There are 5 crore businesses which needs audit. There are millions and millions of schools, hospitals, societies. So these many audits are there, but we are very few. Why few? Sir, you have said now 4,54,000. Only 20% comes in practice now. Even if it is 5 lakhs, let's take round figure. 5 lakhs ka 20%. Only 1 lakh practicing CAs and 1 lakh practicing CMAs are there in India. And we have crores of business to do audit for. So tell me, who is limited, business or we? That's why we are charging high in the society. That's why people come to us for a signature. Our signature is more powerful than anybody's signature. Seriously. If a Mukesh Ambani says that I have 80,000 crores of profit, I can tear off that paper and throw it in the dustbin. But if the same 80,000 crores of profit of P&L will get attached with my signed audit report, even Mukesh Ambani can't touch that and throw it in the dustbin. So who is more powerful? Our signature. It means my signature and our signature either can make the company or can break the company. We are the true runners of economy who practicing CA, CS and CMA. Because without our signature, no bank gives you the loan. No government accepts your income tax return. No government accepts your GST return. Why for GST income tax they come to CA, CMA office? Because of our signature. Why audit is required? Because people will get more confidence when my audit report says that this company is good. Let's take for example, Reliance Industries Limited. Mukesh Ambani is the management of the company. He will definitely say my company is good. But who is going to say it genuinely whether the company is good or not? So people will believe whose signature? Are you getting the point or not? 100% clarity. So that's why we need an independent practicing CA, practicing CMA, practicing CS to come forward and do what? Audit. But unfortunately, in India, people who are in practice like me are very less. Especially in your course, so very rare. Should I give you one data? It will be very helpful for you to understand. एक छोटा सा डेटा बताता हूँ. हैदराबाद का डेटा बताता हूँ. Let me give you the data of Hyderabad. Now see, if you'll see the data of Hyderabad, there are 4,000 practicing CAs in Hyderabad. How many? But there are only 21 practicing CMAs in Hyderabad. Did you see the difference? Even if we have 20% people in CA community who come into practice, now just imagine how many people come in practice in CMA. Not even 1%. This is a disparity. And this is not only Hyderabad's position, this is across India. That's the reason you will be very it will be very difficult for you to find an articleship under a practicing CMA. You generally end up doing articleship under a CA. Reason being, who is more in practice? Who is less in practice? Okay. So look at that, 4,000 practicing CAs versus 21 practicing CMAs. Did you get the point? And when we are very limited in the market, number of audits are very more in the market. Law of demand says what? When the supply is less, price goes higher because the quantity demanded is high. So our demand in the market is so high, that's why we charge premium from our client. एक audit करने का 1 lakh rupees, 50,000 rupees, 2 lakh rupees we charge. And like that, if you have 20, 50 clients, there you go. Are you getting my point? That's why people come into this course, because our signature is highly important. If my audit report is not attached with this financial statement, it is just a piece of paper. But if my audit report will get attached with this financial statement, we will call it audited financial statements. What do we call? Audit. People will have a faith. People will read this and will understand this. But without my report, it is just a piece of paper. That is what a CA, CMA and CS does. Are you getting the point? Reason being very simple, because those who come into the practice, there's a very rare people. Practice mein income gets generated very high, but over a period of time. Practice does not grow that much easily. And you already spent 4 or 5 years in this course. After that, you would like to do what? Earn the money as soon as possible. That's why 95% of the people choose to go to what? Job. Because immediately within the first month, you will start getting a what? Salary. But in the practice, you have to bring a office, you have to set up an arrangement, you have to hire the articles, you have to take the partners, you have to have a client base, Then slowly, what will grow? Practice. It takes time. But once you grow in practice, it's an unsaturated amount of money what you can make. So take a very wise decision after getting qualified. Okay, do you want to come into practice or do you want to come into what? Job. I hope you are getting the clarity. I'm just giving you the generic information about our subject. I'm not at all into the subject right now. Why? Because as a practicing CA and a CMA, this is a major minimum bare knowledge you should get. Bare minimum knowledge you should have. Is chartered accountant who is called CMA, who is called cost accountant. Until unless you don't have this much of knowledge, how do you expect that you will learn the subject called auditing? आपको पता होना चाहिए who is practicing, who is non-practicing, who can do the audit? Tell me now. Practicing CMA can do the audit. Non-practicing CMA cannot do the audit. So whose signature is worthy? Practicing CMA. Non-practicing CA can do the job, but cannot do the what? Audit. Cannot do the practice. Did you get the point? No, both you can't do. You can do full-time job and part-time COP. Are you getting the point? Right or not? But both full-time you cannot do. Either you can be fully in job or you can be fully in what? Practice. Both cannot be done together. I'll tell you the reason also. Because if you are in practice, you have to be very honest in your profession. Let me tell you one thing. So many times the client will bribe you. Suppose I'm giving a negative report on client. Which report? Negative report. So what the client will say, Rohit, take this 50 lakhs ka check. Give me positive report. For you, at that point of time, 50 lakhs is a very huge amount. You may accept it. But you are going against your what? Profession. You will take 50 lakhs. I will convert my negative report into which report? But what about those shareholders who are waiting for my report? What about those lenders who are waiting for my report? What about those creditors who are waiting for my report? What about those customers and government who is waiting for my report? Am I doing injustice with them? Am I being dishonest with them? तो आपको आपके प्रोफेशन में बहुत ज्यादा ऑनेस्टी चाहिए. सर ऑनेस्टी से पैसा आता है, बहुत आता है. We are honest, that's why we charge highest in the market. Are you getting the point? Because they know that see, let's say for example, your father is running a ready-made garment shop. Suppose he's having a 5 crores of turnover. How much turnover? 5 crores. Even if your father will go to a bank will not give him a single rupee of loan. But if your father will go to any practicing CA or a CMA, get the financial statements done, audited by them, and after that bring audit report with your father's financial statement, every bank will start running after your father. Humse loan le lo, take loan from us, this and that. So how a lender gets a confidence? Without audit or with audit? That's what the power of audit is. That's why you're learning this subject. India ka financial backbone runs with these three professionals, CA, CS and CM. If we will stop coming into practice, the whole economy will crash. Every bloody company, every bloody institute, every bloody hospital, school, college, club, cinema hall, they need audit. And who can do the audit? Non or practicing one. That's it. That's what the power of coming into practice. It will take a little bit of time for you to grow in practice, but once you will grow, you can earn 10x more than the one who is earning in what? Job. Are you getting my point? So this is what the bare minimum knowledge you should have about the subject called what? Auditing. I hope you got the clarity. Now let's understand what do you mean by topic we have. We were talking about the topic number 4. What is the name? Audit process. Now, what do you mean by audit process? Means what are the steps in audit? Can anybody in the class tell me what are the steps in audit? No, you don't have an idea. Let me tell you one thing. Listen to this very carefully. Sir, how auditing starts? First of all, this is a practicing CA or a practicing CMA. Am I correct? And this is a client. First, this client sends you a proposal. What is a proposal? I want you to be my auditor. You directly do not get appointment letter. First, you get a proposal. Once you will get a proposal, this auditor will send audit engagement letter to the client. What he will send? Sir, these are my terms and conditions. I will come and become your auditor on these terms and conditions. So who has to accept the terms and conditions? Client has to accept the terms and conditions of the auditor. Once terms and conditions are accepted, then client will send you AAL, audit appointment letter. Which letter? Now finally you became the auditor of the client. Once this step number 1 is over, you will start planning your audit. What you will do? Plan your audit. What do you mean by planning? Acquire the knowledge on your client's business. अपने client के business के बारे में R&D करो. What is R&D? Research. You should know your client. उसका MOA, AOA. What is MOA, AOA? Memorandum, article. Know your client from inside and outside. Once planning is over, then the third stage comes execution. What is the third stage? Execution. Execution means going to the client's place and now doing the audit. Sir, audit में basically होता क्या है? We do audit procedures. What do we do? Audit procedures. Sir, what do you mean by audit procedures? We collect evidence. What do we collect? Evidence about sales, purchase, assets, liabilities, income and expenditure. Once we collect the evidence, what do? We evaluate. And somebody use the word, we analyze the evidence. Once I'll analyze the evidence, I will reach to the word conclusions. What I will reach? Conclusion. Ki client is good in this area, bad in this area, good in this area, bad in this area. And finally, I will make one what? Opinion. Either positive opinion on the client and negative. And then I will issue a what? A report to the whom? Client. This is how our audit starts and ends. Did you get the point? This is called which process? Audit process. So tell me, what is the process number 1? Proposal. Then you send a letter, audit engagement letter. Then you get an appointment letter. Then you start doing planning. Then you will do execution. You start doing audit procedures. You start collecting evidence. Evidence collect karke you will do what? Evaluate and analysis. After that, communicate. Oh, sorry. Conclusions. Conclusions say you will reach to one. Positive or negative. And that opinion you will give it to your client orally or in written form, in the form of report. That's how the audit takes place. This is what is known as what? Chapter called audit process. This I already told you. What do you mean by the term called? Sampling. Kya hota sampling? Checking all or checking some? What is this word? Just now I told you. What do we do? Once we'll get the evidence. What do we do with the evidence? Analyze. अच्छा मेरे को बताओ, your FM started? No, not yet started. Do you know what do you mean by current ratio? Do you have an idea? No. So what do you mean by current ratio? Current ratio is equal to current assets divided by current liabilities. This is the formula of current ratio. Which ratio? You will understand that in FN when the ratio analysis chapter will start. So I told you the formula. Suppose my client's current assets are 7 crores and current liabilities are 2 crores. Tell me, what is the answer? 3.5 is to 1. 7 divided by 2 is 3.5 is to 1. Can you tell me what is the analysis of this? Try to read this ratio. What does that mean? My client has 3.5 rupees of assets for a liability of what? 1 rupee. Even if today he has to pay all the liability, does he still have surplus? It means my client's liquidity is very high. He is very good in holding cash. Now tell me, what if it is 70? What if it is 5 crores current assets and 10 crores current liabilities? Is it 0.5 is to 1? Now read this. How you will interpret this? My client has 50 paisa of which assets? Current assets to pay the liability of. So is he falling short or having surplus? Falling short. It means his liquidity wise good or poor? इसे बोलते हैं ratio analysis. What do we call? That is what we are going to learn in this particular chapter called what? Analytical procedures. I'm telling the meaning of each and every chapter so that you will get an idea. Okay, what is the next chapter we have? Okay, tell me, what do you mean by risk? Okay, let's start like this. Do you all have cell phones? You have lock also. Why did you lock your phone? You tell Emma. Why did you lock your phone in the center? You have cell phone? You have lock also? Why? So that no one can see your privacy, your messages, your gallery. Am I correct? Acha. Everyone's parents have jewelry also. So do we keep jewelry in the kitchen shelf or in the locker room? Why? Protection. Why do we have cameras in a jewelry shop? To prevent frauds and errors. Why do we have cameras in bank? To prevent frauds and error. Why do we have cameras in this building, in the staircase? So that if any wrong activity happens, can we catch or not? Right or not? We have these TVs, projectors, cameras here, laptop in the class. Someone will come and take the laptop. Should we know who has taken or not? That's why we installed what? CCTV cameras. Whatever I am saying is known as internal controls. What do we call them as? Internal control. So having a lock on your phone is your internal control. Putting your jewelry in a jewelry box, locker, is your internal control. Do you keep cash on the floor or in your pocket? In a locked device, in your wallet or not? That is your internal control. Are you getting the point? Now, why? Because in every company, there will be a risk in running a business. To reduce the risk, every company has to install what? Internal controls. Tell me one thing. What is a risk in jewelry shop? Theft. So that's why they have what? Cameras. So theft is a risk and cameras is a internal control. So when we go to the client's place, we check client के business के risk क्या है, and to reduce those risks, what internal controls my client has planted. If the internal controls are good, it means client is able to reduce his what? Risk. My workload also will be reduced as an auditor. But if the client के internal controls are poor, it means risk is very high. My workload will also go very high. So that's what we are going to learn in this chapter. Audit risk and internal control. Read the next chapter. Application of technology in auditing and what? Audit trial. Now tell me one thing. Do you know Amazon, Flipkart? How do you place an order in Amazon, sir? You check the item, add into cart, make the online payment, delivery takes place. You didn't like the product? Can you return it? Everything is online. So when the accounting businesses are going what? Automated, it's better that we should also start learning how to use technology in our audit. तो पता auditing के softwares आते हैं. Now you must have heard about accounting software called Tally, QuickBooks, SAP, ERP. These are which softwares? Accounting softwares. So when the accounting is becoming technology based, it's high time that our audit also should become what? Technology. So read the name of the chapter. Application of technology in what? So how to use technology in our auditing and what? Audit. Is it clear? Then we have a very small chapter. What is the name of the chapter? Audit report and CARO. CARO का full form होता है Company Audit Report Order. Anyways, we'll do it. Then we have audit of what? Can you read the chapter name again? Audit of? How to do the audit of cinema hall? How to do the audit of hospital, society, municipal corporation, school, college, university, club, sole proprietor, partnership firm, company. Now, are these the same entities or different entities? What is the name of the chapter? Auditing the different types of what? Undertaking. ये different entities को audit कैसे किया जाता है? How do we do the audit of? अच्छा, tell me, think logically. How do we do the audit of cinema hall? Suppose you are the auditor of PVR Cinema. PVR Cinemas, you know, na, Inox, PVR. So if they will hire you as a auditor, what you will check? Sir, I'll to watch movie. After that, I'll see whether I have to check or not. You are going to watch a movie as an customer, but I'm saying as an auditor, what you will check? अब बताओ. Think logically. मैं आपको एक formula बताऊं. Whenever these kind of extraordinary question comes into your examination, think logically. 4 income, 4 expenditure, 4 asset, 4 liabilities of that particular organization. Tell me the 4 incomes of cinema hall. देखा आगे ना आंसर. I did not tell tickets and Think like restaurant income and parking rec and advertisement. These are the incomes of what? Cinema. You will check it. Tell me, Amma, what are the incomes of school? Computer lab, uniform fees. ये पेद्दा list of fees is there or not? ये fees, वो fees, तेरी fees, मेरी fees, uniform fees, ये fees, academic fees, transportation fees, computer lab fees, donations. Am I correct? You tell what are the incomes of hospital? Patient income. Which income? Patient, inbound patient, outward patient, pharmacy income, diagnostic income. Do we have canteens in the hospitals also? Canteen income. So, whether you do audit of any entity, remember the formula. Close your eyes, think of for incomes, for expenditures, for assets, for liabilities. 16 points ka answer is ready. Did you get the point? That trick we'll understand in this chapter. Can you read the next chapter? The next chapter name is known as audit of what? Banks. So we will learn how to do the audit of banks. Like you know that we have SBI, PNB. So they are also required to be audited under whose guidelines? RBI guidelines. Whose guidelines? So we do the audit of bank under Banking Regulation Act 1949. So we will learn how a CA or a CMA does an audit of banks. Then we'll learn how to do the audit of cooperative societies. Then we'll do audit of what? Financial item, not financial statements. What is the word written? How to do audit of item of financial statement means only sales audit, only purchase audit, only stock audit, only loan audit, only goodwill audit. So are these the financial statements or items of financial statement? Items. So that's why the chapter name is audit of financial statement name, financial items. What is the next one? And last one you have what? Multiple choice question. I hope you got the clarity. So this is what the brief of the subject which you have in your portion, starting from auditing concept, ending on what? Types of audit. Total 11 chapters are there, very small chapters. One or two chapters are big, like company audit is big. Second chapter is very big. And then we have this audit risk and internal control chapter is big. Rest remaining all the chapters are very small. छोटे छोटे chapters हैं, easy chapters हैं. Easy 40 plus marks, I can guarantee you can get it. If you are little bit good in accounts and if you'll do this subject called auditing thoroughly, I can guarantee you minimum to minimum 70 plus marks you can get. Are you getting the point? 30-35 marks this subject will give you and 30-35 marks that accounting will give you. This is a highly scoring subject. And I will give you these notes also. Let me show you those notes. There are some handwritten notes which I prepared for the previous batch. So that also will be shared with you. I think that is in the another file. So that is in the another file. So that file may handwritten notes are there. That also will be shared with you. So you can keep that handwritten notes and try to understand. You have to be in touch with the subject on which basis? Daily basis. Just spend 5 minutes on whatever the 1.5 hour, 2 hour session we are going to conduct on daily basis. Just revise it next day before coming. Anyways, our class is at 2. So if the class will start by 2:05, 2:10 or 2:15, you will be having 10 minutes during that time. Just revise it before starting of the class. So being the very first day, we'll keep it a little bit light. So this is what the brief introduction of the subject you should have. I hope I made you understand what is audit and who is an auditor, who is a chartered accountant, who is a cost accountant, what do we do, how do we do, and these are the list of the chapters, right? So we will keep it light on the very first day. We will understand the main first chapter tomorrow. We'll start with the concept of what? Auditing concept. We'll understand what do you mean by the term called audit, right? Thank you so much. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you.